I've been writing songs for over 17 years, and I've picked up a few tricks along the way and processes that have helped me the most, and this one has been the winner. I'm going to go through the process step by step, the exact steps that I took, and you're going to see my documented footage along the way, and I hope that it helps you just as much as it's helped me. So yeah, welcome to the journey. I hope this helps you write your next song. So the first step and the most important step is where all the magic begins, is the journaling process. So you're going to take this journal, the Notara journal, or your own journal, and just begin journaling. The goal here is to feel no pressure to write a song. Basically approach it like you aren't even writing a song, because you don't want to over edit yourself. You don't want to over perfect the process. You just want to dump your thoughts on a page. I know whenever I started to write a song and it wasn't coming to me naturally, I would just get so frustrated because I'm like, where's the inspiration? And I'm trying to write a song. And when you go into writing a song and it's so intentional for that, it kind of can lose its magic. So really try to keep no pressure in on this first step. So just write what's on the mind. In the spirit of vulnerability, I will share some of the notes from the journal entry that you see here that I am writing on. I see the clock ticking. I only have so much time till this so-called freedom will end. I've allowed myself to get very trapped in my mind. If I were to compare myself to others who had this time off and were lucky enough, it seemed like their lives were filled with concerts, events, excitement, romance. At least it looked that way from the outside. But that's the thing, right? Things are never quite as they seem. There could be many doors waiting for you to enter them, but you just don't know it because you're blinded by what's happening in the present moment. If I were to ask my future self anything, it would be to be different than what I am right now. But why? What is it that I don't like about myself? I don't agree with the thoughts I have sometimes because they can be upsetting. But am I those obsessive thoughts? Yesterday I saw two women walking around grocery stores, and they both were talking to themselves aloud. Pit in my stomach formed because, that's not normal. But each time I saw them, I wanted to cry, because that could be me if circumstances align that way. But I'm lucky. Just like these obsessive thoughts that I have, what's the difference? They just don't come out loud. Why not free them? Why is it so bad to do that? Now this section, after I journal, I really want to highlight what feels emotionally charged or what has inspired me that I wrote. What sounds poetic and what doesn't sound poetic. Now you can go out of the frame of not thinking I'm writing to write a song, You can go back to that intention and be more intentional now. Some of the ones that I wrote that inspired me from that journal entry was kind of cozy, less meditation, so-called freedom, trapped in my mind comparing, that's the thing, right? Things are never quite as they seem. Ask my future self. What is it that I don't like about myself? I don't agree to the thoughts that I have. They're upsetting. Am I these obsessive thoughts? Talking to yourself out loud. That could be me, but I'm lucky. Spoken out loud. Free the thoughts. So many questions, little answers. So I think I really want to go in that direction of talking about obsessive thoughts and maybe making a song out of that. I don't think I would have came up with this if I had just intentionally tried to sit down and write a song. I think that's just how things happen sometimes. I feel like when you intentionally go to write a song, sometimes it's messy and there's no real ideas there yet. I think inspired ideas definitely happen, and they can happen often, especially if you practice leaning into inspired ideas. But I think if you don't have that practice, it can be really hard to just sit down and be like, I'm gonna write a song today and it's gonna have this story and it's gonna tell this story. But I don't work that way, and over the years that I've written music, it has never been the easiest to go with that direction. So I hope that you also journaled a good session at this point, and your inspired thoughts that you're now pulling are formulating some sort of story to tell, like mine did. Now we're gonna pull what inspired you from your thoughts and your journal entry and everything that you pulled. So these are what inspired me based on what I pulled and what I wrote. Making assumptions on things I don't know. Who will help the ones that need it most? Obsessive thoughts or ghosts? I saw you walking, talking out loud. Marked by luck. Stream of consciousness. Hypothetical conversations. During this process, themes will start forming. For me, is it about identity? Is it about time running out? Is it about intrusive thoughts? So I started feeling like, this is definitely shaping itself into a song about separating yourself from your mind. And I don't think that would have came if I didn't reflect on what I journaled, if I didn't reflect on the mood that I was in. So it's important to always reflect, and it's also important to go into this process without having any expectations too. So that's something to remember. Now we bring in help. And I know you might be thinking like, oh, I thought this process was all just, coming from my mind. And sometimes that's great, but other times you can get stuck. I looked up opposite of lucky words, and I just typed that into Google and did a little search, and I came up with cursed, unfortunate, star-crossed, and marked. And I liked also this saying that I found, which sometimes what can happen when you're looking is you find like sayings when you look up like opposite of X word, and I found down on luck and marked by luck. So instead of going opposite and looking for the antonyms, we can look for the synonyms. What I ended up finding for talking is aloud, speaking, spoken, outer voice, inner voice, rambling is another one. So all of these weren't coming to me initially, and now they did.